taste fresh Scottish seafood, you can taste the difference. There is just that pure, clean flavour. You can almost taste the sea. It sounds like a bit of a cliche, but it's absolutely true. I enjoy working with all Scottish products. I mean, we're very, very lucky in the kitchen. The fact that we have such a great pool of different species of seafood, for a chef it's great because you're never stuck for ideas for a menu. Good ingredients are the most important thing in any kitchen, especially a Michelin star kitchen. I want the best products, and our guests want the best products. And the fact that we have the best seafood in the world right on our doorstep that we can serve to our guests is phenomenal.
The seafood from Scotland is highly valued and prized right around the world. I think that's got to do with the environment in which the salmon are grown. So here on the west coast of Scotland, we've got crashing seas, we've got really, really good high water quality, and that does help a lot in producing world-class salmon. We have the highest standard of welfare anywhere in the world, and that's extremely important because if you've got fish that are being grown really well at low stocking densities, which they are, it means you'll end up with a wonderful world-class fish. The Scottish salmon industry is very, very highly regulated by the Scottish Government. But in addition to that, we're part of many schemes, quality schemes, food safety schemes, that will audit us on a regular basis. So it's all about traceability from the egg right through to the harvested fish. We can tell you exactly what happened to those fish throughout that period.
The fish today that we have here at the harvest station in Mallaig has been harvested onto the boat alive. We bring the temperature of the fish down to make it fresh and chilled for our customer.
Once we have the fish brought here to Fort William where we gut the fish, it's a very, very quick process. The fish are in here and out within 5 minutes. So that means that we've got a really, really fresh fish.
After whisky, fish is Scotland's largest food export. And I don't think that that's coincidental. It is, I think, a reflection that the quality and reputation that Scottish food has puts it up there as the best in the world. The fishing industry developed round the Scottish coast when people moved from the more fertile interior to what was, I guess, then a fairly inhospitable coast. But they soon discovered that the seas round the coast were absolutely teeming with all sorts of whitefish. And from these relatively humble beginnings, one of Europe's largest whitefish sectors was built up. And here in Peterhead, you've now got the largest whitefish port in Europe with probably the most modern fishing fleet in Europe, backed up by an infrastructure of processing plants. One of the strengths of the Scottish industry is the diversity of product that the fleet catch. In the course of a year, there'll be something like 80 different species sold to all parts of the world. Scotland has led the way in terms of MSC accreditation, and we have more stocks accredited in Scotland than any other European country.
On the pelagic fish, the main species we catch is mackerel, which is caught in the North Atlantic, herring that we are fishing in the North Sea, and also in the west coast of Scotland. The towing times are very short, I mean, they can catch fish in the space of 30 minutes, 1 hour, and the fish are on board the vessel very quickly, and they have the technology now to minimise the strain on their nets to ensure a top quality article. When we discharge the fish, all the factories are on the quay, and we can freeze the fish very quickly, and that ensures a top quality product.
I'm a creel fisherman. I've been doing it for 18 years. We got our first boat, myself and a friend, when I was 13, fishing green crab around the harbour. We only take mature crab. We have size limits on lobster crab and velvet, so there's always stock going back for, it's perfectly healthy when it's returned to the sea for the next year. The stocks seem to be in good order. We've had record catches of lobster in recent years, and both brown crab and velvet crab seem like not only sustainable but in good shape. We have pollution-free, clean waters. We have the Gulf Stream and strong tides, all bringing good feeding in, so it all leads to what I consider to be a great product.
The provenance of the product is vitally important because everybody wants to know where everything comes from. They want to know it's been treated well, looked after well, caught sustainably. Scottish fishermen have always been at the forefront of conservation because at the end of the day, it's not ours. We're just here looking after it for the future generations, so it's not in our interests to overfish. Buyers know that when they go for Scottish seafood, they're going to get a product that is at the top of its game and has been well looked after.
Got cool, pristine waters here on the west coast of Scotland, which is vital to ensure that we grow good quality shellfish. We are not intensive and mass producing shellfish. We are small producers, but that allows us to carefully farm with our trained staff. It tends to be more of a crofting community thing on the west coast. Small 1 or 2 man operations where they tend their oysters and look after them, turn the bags and produce a very good shaped oyster. The waters in Scotland tend to produce quite a sweet oyster. In the summer you have good phytoplankton, good feeding, so you'll get a more creamier oyster, and then in the winter months they'll be less creamy and have a slightly different taste. The mussels that we're growing in Scotland will be either 2 or 3 years old, and they tend to be quite sweet and they produce a nice firm mussel meat. Oyster and mussel farming and these other species, they are by definition sustainable. We don't have to feed them, we don't have to put any chemicals in, they are naturally occurring. The Scottish industry takes shellfish food safety very seriously, and we believe that we've got the best programs in place to ensure that is the case. We're doing something that's quite innovative here. That's growing shellfish alongside salmon. So we've got salmon farms and we're putting mussels, oysters grown subtidally, which is quite novel, sea urchins, queen scallops and seaweed alongside them, and trying to really balance ecosystem, if you like.